Hey everyone, welcome. I am going to share my screen and we're going to get started with week 4 of our continuing education series. Let me change up my screen for you. Okay, hopefully everybody can see that. Tonight's topic, if you just hopped in, welcome Hallie. We are talking about oils for every age. And I love this topic because sometimes people have the like misconception of, oh, I thought people only used essential oils for fill in the blank. You can tell me in the chat, like, what is it that you thought or you think even maybe right now you're like, when I think of essential oils, I thought you only used them for whatever it is. I'd love to know. Um, but I'm going to tell you ways that people can use essential oils in every stage of life. This is going to be a bird's eye view because this is a quick call and I'm talking about every stage of life. So if you're in one of these stages or you're a parent of someone or a child of someone in one of these stages and you want to do a deeper dive later, I'm also totally happy to do that. So just send me a message or the person who invited you to this, and we'll make sure that you get more information for what it is that you wanted to know about that maybe we don't, if we don't touch on all of it tonight. Okay, let me move this out of the way. Okay, so we're going to start out talking about the infant stage group. So doTERRA essential oils are the most tested and the most trusted essential oils on the market. That's why I love them so much. That's why we go to great lengths to make sure that they're not only the safest and wisest choice of natural health care for your family. So if you have a baby or a toddler in your family, you would definitely want to make sure that what you're putting on their skin is safe, right? Because what you put on their skin is going to be going into their body. So you want to make sure that every product you're using with your children are non-toxic. I also very much care about what I'm putting on and in my body. So even as an adult, I still care about that. But with kids, you're like, okay, your organs are still developing, you're still growing. You really do need to be more careful with children. So one product that I really love for my kids is the On Guard Touch. I absolutely love this for my kids. Their ages 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I started using doTERRA oils right before trying to conceive with my first child. And so I'm happy to say that I've had them along the way, like every step of motherhood so far. And that's also why I love talking about this stage because it's not like theory for me. I'm not like, oh man, I wish I had had these when I was having babies. That would have been so helpful. I'm like, no, I literally had them and I'm still using them on my babies. So On Guard Touch is amazing to help boost their immune system. So what I love about that one is I can roll it on their feet before they go to school. I can roll it on their back or their feet before they go to bed at night, especially around cold and flu season. I'll rub it down the back of their necks and their spine, even more when they are actually sick, to get that extra immune support to help ward off, any of the bad stuff. That is going to come their way, especially, there's so much. Okay, yeah, Naomi says she also uses this with her kids too. That's amazing. I love that. You want to have tools, as a mom, you're like, oh, my kid's sick. What do I do? And having something that you're like, I have something in my medicine cabinet. I know it works. I know it's non-toxic. I know it's only helping their immune system. It's not, there's no side effects. That is just so helpful as a mom. So one more that is so clutch in the infant slash all the way up to, well, I mean, honestly, everybody in my family still uses this one, both of these. So these aren't just for the infant stage, but I cannot imagine having the infant stage without these two, is Digestin Touch. So Digestin is a blend specifically for tummy issues. So when you think about, newborns or infants that, the mom that's like, oh, my baby's colicky, and you're like, oh, I wish I had something that I could do to help you. You should give them Digestin Touch. It is amazing how helpful it is for baby gas. I'm so grateful that we had this with our babies because I had something I could grab every time. I wasn't having to, pour bottles of gripe water down their throat or, just wonder what was wrong with them. I would grab my Digestin Touch and I'd roll it on their tummy. Both of these are already pre-diluted, so you don't have to worry about sensitive skin issues. You could dilute them even more, especially the younger the kids are. So if you already know you want to dilute it more, then that's totally fine too. But buying it in the touch form, the benefit of that is it is pre-diluted for you. You definitely want to be careful with infants and toddlers, with their skin in general. We already talked about that, but the younger the baby is, the more sensitive their skin is. So more dilution is always like a good idea. There's never any shame for diluting something more. So doTERRA has an unscented lotion called it's called the hand and body cream. So you might hear someone call it lotion, you might hear hand and body cream. It's the same thing. It is unscented. So the benefit of that, I kind of love that it's unscented, because if doTERRA had chosen for it to be lavender, if they'd chosen for it to be something else, then it would be less customizable. But the fact that it is unscented, you could grab your favorite oil, you could grab a lavender, you could grab something else and put a drop of that in there, and then give your baby a little massage that way before bedtime, or rub their legs or after bath. And that's going to help calm them down. It's going to help you calm down. Like, it's going to be good for you too, because as the oils are on your hands and you're massaging, it's going to help you connect with your child more. And then especially if they have sensitive skin or are extra dry, then it's also amazingly hydrating. So it's good for both purposes. Diffusing. So if we have a diffuser in every bedroom of our house, and especially our kids' bedroom and our bedroom, our nighttime routine started a few years ago when we started using essential oils to help them in like sleep training. And so if I wanted them to help like understand it's time to wind down, it's time for bed, we would go in their room, we'd turn on their diffuser, and then maybe start our nighttime routine or our bath time routine as their body was inhaling the lavender or the serenity or whatever it was I was diffusing, and helping their brains register of, oh, when I smell lavender, when I smell serenity blend, like that's how I know it's time to go to bed. So it helps them mentally start winding down, helps me calm down a little bit in the, like, whether it's sleep training or helping them calm down. And it's going to help promote restful sleep for them. Another thing that I really love to diffuse, well, I actually diffuse this one every single night, not just on like sick nights, but the Breathe blend is the respiratory blend from doTERRA. That's just my favorite for sleeping. I feel like if I can breathe better, then I can sleep better. It helps my husband not snore. But that is the blend that I will diffuse in my kids' room also if they've got a cough. I cannot recommend that enough, especially in India right now as we get into Diwali season when the air quality is going to be tanking. Everybody in Delhi specifically needs a bottle of Breathe on hand to deal with the lung situation of the air quality that will happen in a few months. So if you don't already have a bottle of Breathe, go ahead and get one this month and be prepared, because it is so helpful. I just had a testimony of a mom friend this past week who her son was having a really hard time coughing, specifically every night when he was laying down. And so I got her a bottle of Breathe. And she said that I think she was rubbing it on his chest so he could, diffuse that way, if you will. And she was like, oh my goodness, he's sleeping so much better. So the kids also like being a part of the diffuser process. So their diffuser in their room is a choo-choo train. And so I'll tell them when I'm putting in their diffuser, and then sometimes they like to do the little choo-choo button on it. So you can make it fun for them too, because it's their wellness journey too. Okay, pregnancy. So you have to tell me in the chat if anybody is here that's expecting, if you're willing to share. When you're pregnant, a great option with honestly any meal would be ginger or digestion. This was always a lifesaver for me when I would have heartburn at night or car sickness or morning sickness. Copaiba is also really amazing to take under your tongue. You can put one drop. Hey, Nisha. You can put copaiba underneath your tongue, and it's going to help regulate your nervous system. if you have aches and pains from pregnancy, then you can put it on topically because, you know, the longer pregnancy goes on, the more uncomfortable we often get as mamas. And then also copaiba is really helpful for supporting your milk supply. So if you want to be prepared for that, or if maybe you're in that season and you're like, man, I could use some support in nursing, that would be a great one to grab. Okay, one more for pregnancy, or one more slide, three more oils. Basil and fennel are great for well, I guess I should say even like, maybe this should say postpartum. I should call this postpartum. Basil and fennel are great for nursing. So again, if you need some support in your nursing journey, I would grab basil and fennel. You can apply topically, diluted, and that's going to help promote your milk supply. Fennel was my go-to in my first nursing journey. My first nursing journey was way harder than my next two. And so fennel was amazing for that. Peppermint is one that we always have to say to use carefully in the postpartum journey. I have only ever known one person that this has happened for. But I have one friend in particular, which is why you have to like add it as a warning because it does happen. But sometimes people can be more like sensitive to peppermint in nursing. So if someone is like, I'm ready to be done nursing, peppermint could be helpful for that. But if you want to keep nursing, then you might, you know, be careful with how much peppermint you're consuming. Peppermint did not affect my milk supply at all. Like I use peppermint like crazy, never had an issue, but I always do want to give that warning in case, just in case, because I never want to sabotage someone's nursing journey on accident. The next one we're going to talk about is school-aged kids. Balance is a blend from doTERRA. Smells amazing if you've ever smelled Balance. And it's good for every age. A lot of these, I'm putting them in categories of when you should use them, but like, it's not like these are only for this age. There's just a couple fan favorites for these stages. Balance is what we call the grounding blend from doTERRA. So it's great specifically for school-age kids because maybe your kids are studying for exams, you know, especially in India with assessments. Maybe assessments are coming up, or maybe your kids are in the middle of assessments right now, and maybe they have jitters. Putting Balance on them is going to help. Well, it's already pre-diluted, so that makes it easy for kids. But you can put it directly on them. You can put it on the back of their neck. You can put it on their spine, under their feet. And it's going to just help ground them. I feel like this one is so helpful for my mood. Like I feel more grounded when I use it for sure. Intune is one that I put on one of my children's neck every single morning before he walks into his classroom. This is the Focus blend. And yeah, like I said, I have one child in particular who just needs a little bit more help with focus. And I feel like this helps kind of like trigger his brain to know, like I'm walking into the classroom, it's time to focus. So you can put this one diluted on their foreheads, bottom of their big toe, behind their neck. I really do feel like the back of the brain stem is the best place for Intune, personally. And if you are joining for our whole series and you are excited about a free diffuser at the end of this series, then you're going to want to keep track of the secret words that we're giving out each week. So today's secret word is Intune. So write that down somewhere. And then when you get the follow-up email from me, I will have a punch card link in there and you can put it in and say like, hey, I was there, loved it. Here's a secret word. If you're on Instagram and you're like, shoot, I didn't know this was a series. I just hopped in today. I do have a link in my bio for the Zoom call. So as soon as you register for that Zoom call, then you start getting the follow-up emails with all the playbacks in it. So you could catch up and watch all of them together, or you could watch along with us. But write that down. Intune. Okay, one more slide for school age kids, because let's be honest, your kids are in the school age stage for a while. So it feels like it deserves two slides. The two that I'm going to talk about for this age group are wild orange and lavender. The reason we love this is wild orange is amazing for boosting the mood for myself and for my school age kids. But if I notice that my kids are just completely overstimulated, maybe after school, they're just exhausted. Maybe they're losing their mind because they're just so tired and they're trying to regulate coming back home. Wild orange is usually the one I'm going to grab. I grabbed this recently after just like a long day of school, and I had each of the kids put a drop of wild orange in their palms, rub their hands together, take some deep breaths. And I was like, you guys just need to take a deep breath. I just need to take a deep breath. And we all relaxed together, and it was just really, really helpful. Um, that burst of citrus just is so good for the mood. If you are in the motherhood stage of life and the school age stage of life, I really, recommend having a bottle of wild orange around to help regulate emotions. And lavender, specifically lavender touch, is one that I keep in my purse at all times. I have 3 boys, and so cuts and scrapes are a daily thing at my house. And so having a pre-diluted roll-on for every owie is just honestly like really necessary. So anytime they have a cut or a scrape, it helps the cut or scrape not get infected, but it's also going to help calm them down or calm the pain, whatever it is. You could just rub it on their pulse points before they go to bed if you want to help calm them down before bed. And I also use this as my own chill pill because we need that as mamas. Okay, the adolescent years. So here's all the things that I wish I'd had in my adolescent years. So if you have kids that are a little bit older than mine, ages 3, 4, 5, and 6, then the couple things that I'll highlight tonight that might be really helpful for your kiddos. Deep blue comes in a rub, comes in an oil, and it comes in a stick. So just a couple of different ways to apply them because these oils are ones that you don't want to get in your eyes. Not that you want to get any oils in your eyes, but wintergreen is just a little bit more intense if you get it near your eyes. And so I love that they have it in a couple different options to make sure that you get to apply it how you're most comfortable. I think the stick form is my favorite. It also has copaiba in it, but I also love the rubs. I don't know. They're both good. But you can apply these to sore muscles, growing pains. So our oldest sometimes will wake up in the middle of the night with growing pains. So I always grab Deep Blue for his legs, and I'll apply it for him so that he can just relax. And it has wintergreen in it, marjoram, and then a lot of other amazing oils that are great for releasing tension. You can also use Deep Blue for menstrual cramps. So if you have older girls or if you yourself need that, you can apply it directly to your abdomen. A couple other things that your adolescent child might need. Tea tree is great for spot treating acne. Great for stinky shoes if you've got an athlete at home, or if you need to do a deep clean on athletic gear. And then the facial cleanser is non-toxic. It is my favorite. doTERRA USA has several different skincare lines, but the one that's here in India, the Essential Skincare line, is my favorite. So I'm really grateful that that one is available here. I love the way my skin feels with the facial cleanser. And the facial cleanser has tea tree and peppermint in it, so it's really great for cleansing. And then you also just want to make sure that your teen is being careful what they're putting on their body. You know, like every product these days in the market or online that is targeted towards teens, like check their labels for them and help teach them what is in their products. Because maybe it smells nice or maybe they saw their friends using it, but the products they're putting on their body could be causing more acne, you know? I think and diffuser is an amazing tool for the adolescent age because it's so great for mood support when all the hormonal changes are happening for your guys or gals. I know for me, I love grabbing Citrus Bliss or any citrus oils earlier in the day. It helps wake me up. It helps uplift my mood, and it helps me have a smile on my face. Even when maybe that isn't like naturally happening from the environment. But I want to be happy for my kids. I want to be in a good mood for my kids. And so I'm making breakfast for them, every once in a while, I'll go over and be like, okay, I was going to make eggs first, but let's turn on the diffuser first. That might be helpful. Or winding down at night, like I said, or studying for an exam or whatever it is. Clary Calm is amazing for hormone support. It comes in a roller. I use this definitely when I'm on my monthly cycle, but sometimes also if I'm feeling extra hormonal. It's a great one to grab. And it's not just for, it is the women's blend, like women's health blend is what it's called. But you could also put this on your teenage boys on their wrist to help their hormones regulate as well. Just don't tell them it's a woman's blend and then they'll be fine with it. No, I'm just kidding. But anything that helps regulate our hormones is going to make our mood feel so much better. Okay, so we finally reached adulthood in our, we talked about infants, we talked about adolescent or school-aged kids, adolescents. Now we're finally to adults. Lifelong Vitality is the vitamin pack that doTERRA has. If you're in India, this is on the way. It's not live on the website yet, but by the end of the year, we hope to have this in India. And if you're in the US and you like what I'm about to say, then message me because you can definitely get it there and in a lot of our other markets. But this is something that's a non-negotiable for Cole and I. We feel so much better when we're taking this supplement pack. It fills in nutritional gaps that we all have. Our food, excuse me, our food is just different than it was 50 years ago. The soil is more depleted these days, or people are using, more crafty pesticides or whatever, glyphosate or GMOs. Like there's just so many different things about our food these days that we have to be more careful about. And so having a supplement that's filling in nutritional gaps just helps me feel like I'm taking better care of my body. It also gives me more energy, helps decrease inflammation, mental clarity, and I just feel so much better when I'm taking these supplements. I know I'm getting everything I need throughout the day, every single day. I think everyone honestly should consider taking Lifelong Vitality. So like I said, if you're watching this from India, stay tuned. I will make sure you know when it comes to India. Another great duo for the adult stage is MetaPower. So MetaPower is kind of a funny name. People are like, what does that stand for? Like Meta PWR. What does that mean? But it means metabolic personal wellness realized. So as we get older, our metabolism starts slowing down. Maybe your body starts looking a little bit differently than it did before, or maybe you realize you can't eat the same way that you used to. You start paying more attention to your metabolism. Maybe you feel like it's slowing down. So what I love about MetaPower is that you can add 2 to 3 drops in your water bottle 2 to 3 times a day. Some people just do it as they remember because sometimes 2 or 3 times a day feels lofty, but it's going to help slow the maturation of fat cells in your body. So the fat cells in your body turn over every 7 years. So what you have with you is hanging out with you for a while. The cells in your body only regenerate every 7 years, but through those 7 years, your fat cells are either going to be getting fluffier based on your lifestyle, or maybe they're going to be getting less fluffy. So there's a couple different things that you do in your life and in your body that are going to affect that. So how much you move your body or what you eat, hormone spikes or blood sugar spikes, all of those things impact how fluffy or less fluffy your fat cells are going to be. So MetaPower is going to just be telling your fat cells, it's an oil blend that has been preclinically studied to show that it does stop the maturation of fat cells. It's in clinical trials right now, but we already know what it does because we have thousands of testimonies of people using it that are seeing so much support in this area, that we're excited about the studies that are going to be published, but we're also like, we just already know that it's working. But these are going to help people age more gracefully as they have less blood sugar spikes. And it's going to help people not gain unnecessary weight that, sometimes people are like, I'm eating right, I'm working out, like I'm doing all the right things. Why am I still not losing the weight? Or why am I still gaining weight? And sometimes it has so much more to do with your blood sugar regulation than you know. And so having an oil blend that helps regulate your blood sugar is going to be helpful for people at all weight levels. Um, People that have diabetes might consider this as a good option for them. Always make sure to consult your doctor. I never want to say anything that is medical advice. Always run everything by who you trust medically. But also take a screenshot of this if you want to make sure you remember it so you can discuss it with your doctor or with the person that invited you to this class. And lemon. Lemon is another one that I love for the adult age. It is going to be fantastic for helping your body detox, help support your lymphatic system, your digestive system, and you can just try to make sure, I shouldn't say try to make sure. You should always make sure that as you're adding either one of these oils or any of the other consumption oils that we mentioned, make sure you're using stainless steel or glass when you add those oils and that you're not putting it into plastic. That's just going to make sure that the oils don't break down the plastic so you're not drinking plastic. But stainless steel and glass are safe bets. But you could start every morning with adding a couple of drops of lemon to your warm water to help get your digestive system running. That'd be a great thing to add to your daily routine. Lemon, 2 to 3 drops in your water. You could do that 2 or 3 times a day. I love lemon because it detoxifies my body, helps push toxins through my body quicker, thins the mucus. So if you feel like you have a lot of junk, add lemon to what you're doing. Those are just a couple ways to support your adult life. So we're going to talk about a couple different ways to use oils for every age. The first thing we're going to talk about is using them aromatically. The first way, this is the first way we use it, but I talked about citrus bliss a minute ago. I love it in the mornings because it is so uplifting. It's free from toxic fragrances. And so it's literally just citrus oils plus vanilla. So it smells so good. You can picture that if you've never tried it. But I used to burn candles all the time. Sorry, let me check the chat. Ceramic cups. I need to do more research on ceramic cups. I feel like it would depend probably on the quality of the ceramic cups, but I would love to know if any of you guys have thoughts on that. So I used to burn candles all the time. Like I was the person who, when I would come over to India, I would pack all these like fancy candles from the US. I love my house smelling nice. But the problem is I had no idea what was in the candles or the chemicals that were in the candles. And so I had no idea what I was putting into my respiratory system, all for just to make my house smell nice. And so I had no idea how much it was impacting me hormonally or how much it was impacting the headaches I was getting. So oftentimes candles have toxic chemicals in them that we don't even know about. So always check your labels. And if a label says the word fragrance on there, that's basically a glorified way for companies to hide chemicals. Like they don't have, as long as they add fragrance to the label, they don't have to tell you what else is in there. And so that, to me, that's a red flag. Like if a company is going to put fragrance on there, that means they have something to hide. So if you start picking stuff up around the house and checking labels, and if you see fragrance on there, I would just consider like, do I actually like this thing so much that I'm willing to put chemicals in the air for my kids or for myself? So switching to an oil or an oil blend that I loved the smell of, that I could diffuse and still make my house smell amazing, Citrus Bliss was that for me. I was like, this is so good. Using a diffuser is a great way to get rid of types of toxicity that are in your life that you're like, I didn't even know. You can also change up the scents. So, you could diffuse lavender one day, you could diffuse peppermint one day, whatever it is that you like the smell of. If you aren't sure if you like the smell of a couple things, you could grab a couple bottles and pop off the lid and just go like this. And that's a good way to test, like, do I like the way these two oils smell together? And honestly, I don't know if there's like so many that I don't love the smell of. I probably would never diffuse oregano because that just sounds weird for my whole house to smell like pasta. But there's so many oils that I'm like, yeah, throw it in the diffuser. It smells great. Okay, I mentioned this before, but the Breathe blend is my favorite for respiratory issues. So every age, that would be helpful for. Okay, the second thing we'll talk about is using oils topically. Topically is awesome because anytime you have like a specific like area of your body that you're having issues with, whether it's acne or pain or whatever, you're going to be able to put the oils directly on that area. And it's going to support that specific area in that place that you want the oils to go. So a couple oils that I'm highlighting for this are frankincense and adaptive touch. These are really great for stress and increasing energy. So if you get like a tight jaw, balance or frankincense topically would be really great for that if you're a clincher. But anywhere in your body that you're feeling stress or pain, it would be great to have these two on hand. I use these two probably almost every day for some sort of like calming myself down or like skincare or something like that. I love frankincense on my face. I started wearing adaptive almost like a perfume because it helps me like take a step back and decompress. So you can use these oils daily to reduce stress and increase energy. And like I said, having them topically that are pre-diluted, that's just really helpful because you're not having to have another step. So internally, we just talked about a little bit with, make sure that you're putting oils in like a glass or stainless steel every time you consume them internally. But citrus oils are really great ones to drink internally. You could put 1 or 2 drops in a glass of water throughout the day. I always think this is interesting. People always ask me like, how do I know if I've had too much? And the easy answer is oils metabolize in your body just like food. So when you eat lunch, you only eat so much lunch, right? Like you're not eating your whole day's worth of calories in one meal. You eat like a little bit in the morning, a little bit midday, a little bit in the evening. So with the oils, it's like the same thing. Like 1 or 2 drops each time you use them is fine. And then a few hours later, you could do it again. So for citrus oils, you could technically do up to 24 drops of citrus oils in a day before it would be like too much. But so yeah, don't worry so much about it, but spread it out because your body just can only do so much with it at a time. So starting your day with a citrus oil and some warm water would be so great for your digestive system and waking you up. It tastes great and it's good for your body. Oils for the glory years. So nobody loves talking about this, getting older, but as we age, our skin ages, our skin gets thinner. So diluting essential oils is probably even more important for like the baby ages, but then also as your body gets older and your skin maybe just it might be more sensitive. So fractionated coconut oil is one of my favorite things to use to dilute. It doesn't really leave like a greasy residue. It soaks right into your skin as long as you don't use too much. And it helps the oils penetrate deep into your skin. So it's actually like strategic to dilute. You could also use the lotion that we talked about, the hand and body lotion. And then lifelong vitality we mentioned before, but whether you're new to essential oils as you're moving towards your senior years, or if you've been using them for a while, it's always a great time to start lifelong vitality. It's so helpful for every stage. I think teens even can take it. They should probably take like a half dose. But even teens take it. It supports your joints as we age and our joints start hurting more. It improves your energy. It protects and nourishes your brain. I'm just honestly a really big fan of LLV because I feel so great after taking it. Couple more for the glory years. So if you have an aging parent or if you yourself are aging right this second, then a couple that you might consider are DDR Prime. This stands for damaged DNA repair. A couple things that are going to be inside this blend that help support your brain and nervous system. And it helps lower inflammation, which this could be great for like hot flashes or immune system support. I had a friend, I won't say exactly what the health issue was because I don't want to make a medical claim, but she basically had a surgery, right here. And she was trying to help recover from that and restore some of her vocal cord usage after surgery. So I put her on DDR Prime and she saw huge benefits in her vocal cords being restored. And that was so amazing because she was really worried about that after her surgery. Like, could she get that back? And so, yeah, I was really happy for her and with the relief that she had there and restoration she had. Aroma Touch is the massage blend. I love putting this in an Epsom salt bath. And this is going to be really amazing for aches and pains. It's also really great for the lymphatic system. So as people are getting older, if they just need to like relax after a long day, the massage blend is going to be really great for that. Sorry, I messed up my screen. Okay. So there are three types of people that usually come to one of these classes. And so I'm going to share this with you just to kind of help diagnose which one of these three people you are to help figure out how we can support you best moving forward. So the first type of person usually joins one of these calls to learn, yeah, maybe they're like, I'm in the mom years, I'm in the mom of an adolescent, and I'm wondering how in the world do I help my teen regulate, whatever. And so maybe you just are here to learn more about, how do I live the wellness lifestyle and how do I do that better? So the first person is what we call like a live person, someone who just wants to live the wellness lifestyle. The second person is maybe they want to do the same thing, but they're also looking for ways to get their products paid for. So these people are already loving their products so much, but they're also thinking about friends and family or maybe neighbors who have specific wellness issues. Like if you were listening to this and you were like, I am thinking about my mom the whole time, or I'm thinking about my brother the whole time, and I need to make sure they know that this could help their problem, then you might be a share person. Like you might be someone who wants to know more about how to share. And we would love to help you figure out how to do that. So this type of person might be excited about helping others, but then that's also maybe going to help you get your products paid for. The third type of person is, maybe they're already thinking about being a live person. They're already thinking about being a share person, but then they're like, wait, at what point am I just doing the same job as you do? Maybe you see the potential of making an impact in your community, but then also earning an income while you're doing it. So this type of person is already living the wellness lifestyle, already loving their products, or maybe you think you might love your products and we'll help you get some so that you know. Maybe you're already sharing with other people or you're already thinking about sharing with other people. And so joining in the business with us would just be a really good fit for you. So just think about it, like which type of person do you think that you are? Are you someone who wants to know more about wellness lifestyle, sharing with others, or are you looking for another stream of income? And then as soon as this call is over, if you just want to reach out to either me or the person that invited you, we'll make sure that you get invited to the next step so that you know what to do. Okay. So basically going off of the builds person, like someone who's looking to earn an income, I'm going to share a little bit more about that while I still have you so that you know if you want to come to like a business call. So you have the freedom to, choose your schedule, choose your dreams, and then how to reach there. Because this is an opportunity that gives you tools and resources to earn an income, but you also are still your own boss. So why would you choose to start a business with doTERRA? So doTERRA is the most trusted and most tested essential oil company. So there's over 8.5 million customers. This is actually a pretty old stat. So it's outdated. I'm like curious how many customers we have now, but it's used by doctors and hospitals worldwide. And that says a lot about our oils. It's the largest essential oil company in the world. With a growth rate that is similar to Apple's. So if you look at Apple's growth rate for the first 7 years that they were in business, and you put it up next to doTERRA's growth rate, they look like very similar. It became a $1 billion company in 7 years. We break retention rates of about 65%, where the average in the industry of like direct sales companies are about 13%. doTERRA creates partnerships with growers around the world, and I love that because they're giving so many opportunities to people around the world to help produce the oils where the plants are grown, but then also helping people on the other side of the bottle treat health issues. So it's a privately owned company, which means it's debt free and there's no outside funding. So we see a lot of companies these days that are like awesome and we're like in love with them, and then they get bought out, or maybe they have some investors creeping down their neck and they start cutting corners. But when you have a private company that has no debt, there's just like no reason for the company to steer from the plan. So I have a lot of trust in the company because they did not choose to have investors. So I'm going to tell you a little story. There is a story about a man who was hauling buckets for a living. And so that's going to be kind of the illustration I'm going to use to help you guys see why a business like this could be a good option. So this man who is hauling buckets of water from the river to his community, and he was doing it every single day. He's doing it every single day for the rest of his life if he wants water in his community. There's no way for the community to get water unless someone hauls a bucket of water. And then one day, a guy comes along who's helping him and then says like, maybe if we build a pipeline from the river to the community and then we have rushing water to the community, then maybe we don't have to keep walking back and forth with buckets. And so that's basically what we're doing here with residual income. We're building a pipeline so that just as we're living our life, we're doing what we love by sharing and helping other people with their wellness journey. It's something fun. Like I actually do like my business. But then other people are going to love it too, because we're going to be helping solve their problems. And that's what the pipeline looks like, to just continue to bring water to the community. So how do I make money? I mainly do the things that are on my screen, sample people. So when I see a need with someone, I'm gonna immediately pull out my bottle of oil and say, do you need some of this? Do you want to try this? I'm not, walking around charging people for using my oils. I'm always giving my oils freely. And if people love it, then I'll send them my link and they can buy it. If it doesn't solve their problem, if they didn't love it, then they got a free gift of an oil drop, and then we move on with our lives. But sampling people is a great way to let people see if they love something before buying. I teach, so I host classes like this. I host classes in person or just have conversations with people about what would be helpful from them. I work a lot from my phone because I do have 4 small kids, and that is just really great for my stage of life. I know a lot of other people love to do more things in person. So yeah, teaching how do I help people switch from more non-toxic products to using more oil and non-toxic products. And then hopefully, there's other people that want to do this with me. So, I'll help people get what they need. I'll support them, get them plugged into my community, and so forth. So income opportunities with doTERRA. The sky's kind of the limit on what your goals are, how much time you have, and then what goal you want to reach. So if you can see my screen, it might be kind of small, but there's kind of 3 categories. I just want to get my products paid for. And if someone comes to me and says that's their goal, they're like, I want to be able to take these supplements. I want to be able to use these products. What's it going to take for my order to be paid for? Then I will teach you exactly how to do that. And then there's also going to be like a bracket of approximately how many months it'll probably take you to get there based on what you're doing. And then some people are like, no, I need another stream of income. That's really the goal. Like I love the products, but also I need more than that. And then I would show you exactly which rank you probably need to hit to make whatever you're looking at making. And then so forth. And then there's also the opportunity to replace your income and what you would need to do to get there. And I'm here, that's what, me or the person that invited you to this call, once we sign up to be your cheerleader, like we're really there to be your cheerleader. I love that it's allowed me to spend money on my wellness journey for things that are going to help me in my body. But then also it's like hilarious. That's also a business investment, of something that's helping propel my business as well. So, I love that. I'm not selling like encyclopedias or something that like is great, but you only need so much of. Like I'm selling vitamins, I'm selling oils, I'm selling things that I love, and I'm also getting to use everything that I'm sharing about. So I'll tell you a little bit more about my personal testimony of what residual income means to me. And then if there's any other wellness advocates on this call, if you want to share in the chat, about what this has meant to you. But my initial goal in sharing was to get my products paid for. That was a concern. I was like, okay, I really love everything, but like, there's no way my husband's gonna let me get everything. And then I had friends who reached out and they said that they would help me learn how to get my products paid for. And so I started learning how to do that, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then after that, for me, that's when it turned into a business. I was like, this just makes sense. Like I'm already sharing these products with everyone. Like every time someone comes over and has a headache, I'm grabbing my peppermint and being like, use this. Or if someone can't sleep, I'm like, lavender, you need this. Um, so I was already doing that anyway. And so I was just like, might as well get paid for it. But what I love is that I'm putting time and effort into educating and sharing with others, but then it's also paying dividends for my family later. Because once I teach someone how to use it and they love it, like they're going to use it for the rest of their lives, you know? So like we took the summer off pretty much from business because we went out of the country, we were traveling, trying to spend more time with our kids and take a vacation. And then my husband had a major medical emergency. If you're following me on Instagram, then you probably already know about that. But we had like to take a back seat for a while of just like figuring our life out again. Um, and for me to know that my doTERRA income was still coming, even the times that I wasn't teaching classes or I wasn't doing something, I wasn't worried about like, what's going to happen to my business. It just kept going. It wasn't like growing at the rate that I wanted it to, sure, but like it didn't disappear overnight. So I can choose to take steps back like that, and it's like not that big of a deal. So I would love to teach you to do that as well. So how much time is involved to get your products paid for? You're probably going to be working about 3 to 5 hours a week, following up with people, contacting new people. Maybe you're taking samples to people or teaching classes. If you want to supplement your income, then maybe you're going to talk about like 10 to 15 hours a week. And if you would like to replace your income, then you're going to have to treat it like a job, like you're going to have to put in more work than that. So 15 to 30 hours a week would probably be more realistic for getting you to that goal. So is this something that could work for me? You might ask yourself these questions. Are you passionate about natural solutions? Do you care about people? I would hope you do. Can you follow a system and get things done? And if your answer to that, all three of those is yes, then this could probably work for you. So what are your next steps? Make sure you know which person you are. Like reach out to the person who invited you to this call and say, I'm a live person, or I'm a build person, or I'm a share person. And then they're going to have steps for you of what to do next. That is going to be the best way because you're going to connect with whether it was me or whether it's the other person that invited you. They're going to get you plugged into where you want to get plugged into. So I'm going to leave you with this quote that says, and suddenly you just know it's time to start something new and trust the magic of beginnings. I just think that's a really fun quote just to say that like, hey, no matter what it is that you're excited about taking away from this, like there's magic in new beginnings. And so to get started, whether it's grabbing some lavender for your kiddos or whether it's starting a new business, we're here to cheer you on. So I am stopping my screen on Zoom. And I just want to say if you're joined on Instagram Live, if you joined on Zoom Live, or if you're watching the playback, we're so grateful that you joined. I hope you learned so much. And we really are pumped about you being a part of this series. In case you missed it, we are doing a series. So we did oils for every age today, but next week we're going to be talking about skincare and hair care. And so I know a lot of people want to know more about that. So if you're not registered for that yet, go to the link in my bio and register. If you're on Zoom, then you're probably already registered. But super pumped to have you. Same time, same place next week. And I'm going to shut down the recording. So thank you so much for joining us. And then we'll be able to ask some questions at the end. Okay.